Hi everybody, it's Gail from Gail's Bookish Things. We have a glare right here, so let's open this up. But did you know that it was National Notebook Day? I didn't either until my friend Donna posted on Instagram. She's at South Shore Paper. Anyway, happy National Notebook Day, and gave an interesting little summary of the history of National Notebook Day. So head on over to her Instagram account if you want to read about that. But that made me think, well, I didn't know it was National Notebook Day, but I did just buy a notebook, and it was this. I was at Barnes & Noble with my daughter the other day, and I had received some money for Mother's Day from my husband, and so I used the part of the gift card from him and decided to try this out. I've seen this on a couple different sites and postings, and I like Tomoe River paper, but maybe I've come to like some others a little bit more since they have changed it. However, I was quite drawn to the format of this notebook, and I decided that it might actually work for certain things. Of course, I couldn't resist this burnt orange, deep orange cover, so that was part of my decision-making process, was like, yes, this is really a color I relate to. Not all of the stores have it, apparently. I don't know anything about that. I've just, I think Seaweed Kisses had mentioned that it's not everywhere, but some stores do have it, and fortunately I was able to spot one at our local Barnes & Noble. Anyway, it's A5, 192 pages. This is interesting that this is all recycled cardstock, so I like that. What I don't like is that it is ruled. I prefer dot grid or grid, but it was a lesson in expanding my horizons a little bit. This is Cream 68 GSM. And I also noticed on the label that this was designed in Spain, but made in Japan. I thought that was interesting, and I always wonder about the logistics of how things like that work. This says on here, good Inkpressions, letterpress, handmade stationery. And it says on the little flyer here, that, or the label, that these are beloved by writers, artists, and journaling enthusiasts for their compact design and superior performance with fountain pens and other inks. I thought that this new notebook could be really good for a couple ideas. One is, I talk about taking notes at church sometimes. I use a traveler's notebook now with an insert, but I thought, well, something that I have to hold on my lap. This gives a little bit of structure. As you can see, it's a little bit of a heftier cardstock. I like that. I'm getting distracted. The other thing was to use it as an ink log. But let's talk about the format here. So this cover is not attached to the spine, which gives it this ability to be flat like that. You have a place for labeling there, and then this is gold writing here, and just really your basic cream paper with actually dotted lines. I don't know if that shows up, but the lines are double here, single here, but the lines are made up of lots of dots. And that's pretty much it. It's got the ribbon marker, if that kind of thing is of interest to you. I really rarely use those. In the back, it's got this cover glued to the orange back cover. So let's see if it really does lay flat. Yeah, I mean, it really does. It's just got that little bump, but how can we totally avoid that? I don't think we can. So I think it'll be good. Okay, so note-taking at church. It can also be my new ink log, which I have a thought about that. And this could also just be, for a while, my daily journal. Typically now I am using the A5 Slim. If you're not familiar with that size, I'll just show you here real quick. But it's like this, so it's just slightly narrower than the A5, but it's the same height. anyway, I think that could be fun. I, in the past, haven't totally been drawn to A5, but more and more I'm finding the A5 and A5 Slim good for certain things that I do like to do with a notebook. And here, having a little extra writing space might be good when I'm adding so much page decor, like little photos from my Ivy printer or little doodads from the day. I tend to put those on my pages. This would give more room for that and still plenty of room for writing. So I may explore going that route for a change, or for a change of pace. And as far as an ink log goes, what I want to do, but I don't know if I'm disciplined enough to do it, to follow through with it all the time, is to do more of a category type ink log where, for example, I could do, my friend Kathy at Scribe Samples does something similar, but she has her things divided down to inks and pens and so forth. So I'm wondering if doing each ink that I have and then just listing as I use it. So say I would write Tailings Pond up here, a little specifics about the ink, and then just make a note each time I try a pen with that ink. Just kind of give my impressions. So for future reference, if I'm wanting to try this in my Opus 88, I might see, oh wait, you've done that before and you felt like it was too dry, or no, it was too gushy, something like that. The other would be the opposite approach, and that would be to write down the pen name. So here I would write Twisby, Smoke, and Rose Gold, Broad Nib. I might even do like a fun little sketch of it or something, just to be creative. But anyway, and then write in bold face letters, the pen, excuse me, the pen, and then list the inks I've tried it with, maybe do a little color swatch for quick reference, and then say, again, what was my impression, so I don't keep trying things that don't work if I have forgotten about that combination. I like the idea of being that thorough and that organized, but sometimes in the daily rush, or you forget about it, or you don't feel like it, to be that precise. I kind of consider myself organized and disorganized. I like things in their place. I like knowing where they are. I like having a system, but if I have too much of a system, I just find I don't follow through with it. But I think this book would work perfectly for that. I could also glue on some other types of paper that I'm experimenting with the same ink and pen combination. I have started things similar and just not done them, but sometimes a fresh notebook, a fresh approach, a fresh train of thought might contribute to that. I could add tabs as well and just say inks on one, leave myself several pages, and then pens on the other. So that is a thought. This would also fit well in a couple of A5 notebook covers I have. And the color I just love. It could be something I might wait to use until the fall. I might play around on the back pages though in the meantime and try a couple ink and pen combinations. But anyway, so that's my contribution to National Notebook Day. Thank you, Donna, for making me aware of that. Does anybody know, is there a list somewhere of all the national days that are dedicated to our hobby? Is there, like, how do you know that it's National Notebook Day? Like, I always am late to the party, so I would love to know if there's a list out there somewhere that somebody can point me towards. So that's all for now. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.